ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walking the Hummers, pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tenant truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word, he this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't tripping on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings all feel them. Kick the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. At the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse an imposter. She get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Send that hate making to the featherweights. Niggas claim they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a step and a ruler. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripe, no brick baby. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gunshot. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Nigga swear he the goat, bring him to the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. Be at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, you get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Never. Ski mask transform to war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died.
Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Claim he riding, that's why I left his ass roadside. He gon' die, skyscraper to a nosedive. 9mm plus B, fuck a 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Kick the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. Be at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga?
UPK soldiers got them killers with me, and I don't fuck with every spot cause it's too iffy. Real motherfucking prophet cause the Lord with me, but don't get that shit twisted, I got Drake's with me. Yeah, bitch, and that whole 50. Run up on me wrong, you gon' catch 60. Wait, you gon' catch 20. The other 30 for your homies, bitch, I got plenty. And I'll shoot this motherfucker till that clip empty. Taking orders from your bitch, you a fucking simpy. Shit, should be televised. The way I'm cutting niggas up, bitch, I'm a samurai. Niggas swear they in the trooper telling hella lies. Stumping like you Greek, bitch, you Hellenized. The revolution gon' be televised. And what I see in my vision gon' leave you petrified.
One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West. West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers lead cowards in awe. So fuck a gas stop. I came with 6 pumps in my car. My niggas ready to swing. We like kids at the park. So touch a chair around this bitch and we breaking your jaw. They think we Christian, but we not. Nothing about us is soft. I don't know what you niggas on, but that shit get you off. We booted up. We came to take zones for real. Black 40 under my garment, I be dressed to kill. Fourth dimension sit linger, I be fresh for real. Putting scripts on your corners, but these here ain't pills. We rock covers. You official if you know those drills. Bread and water, you official if you know those meals. Yeah, you niggas soldiers get rolled over. You got police in your pocket, I got a judge in my holster. Oppressors out to get us, so remain sober. Or be chained to them chains till there's nothing that remains of us. A cult leader like Christ, we got the same culture. I bang on them, tell my enemies the rain's over. I up the cig and keep pulling like a chain smoker. The game may change, one West stay the same on them.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Niggas talking prophets, yeah, we got plenty. We the reason why it's Israelites around the city. Karkazak tells the rock, bring Shamara. We about to slide on them, see what niggas talking about. Young dog think he wise cause he a Kimmy head. That shit lame, they didn't survive, nigga, Kim is dead. Where I'm from, little nigga, is a dirty game. I pledge allegiance to Yahweh, bitch, I'm UPK. Nigga, let's talk bodies. Set up on your corner, wake up everybody. Big priest until I'm dead deceased. Yeah, the mission is complete until y'all off the street. So y'all on the internet stumping down the street. But take the poor and the weak. Touch a sister or a brother, you gonna be sleep. But take the poor and the weak.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Fucking with the brothers, then I'm giving out magic pain clip full of ball heads. I'm shooting out Damon Wayne's driven ambition. I ain't never changing lanes. Wise as an old man, but I ain't slanging cane. This ain't a game, this shit way deeper than rap. You speaking the cap, but the shit y'all speaking is cap. I'm 5,000, but I still keep it a stack. I'm in the truth, not cause back then I was seeking the fact. Crying loud for the niggas that's deep in the back. And the Lord with me, ain't no reason for keeping the strap. We peep the attacks, niggas say we ain't speaking the facts. Stealing breakdowns every time we teaching in class. Niggas snitching, y'all out here squeaking with rats. We be on the street corners teaching that Jesus is black.
We on 125th Street, Harlem, nigga, you see where we at.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
I read what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert, another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers can they spin, I ain't listening, is in fact a fear. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jake. So Tower War, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't be do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he said something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't on who got this gun, it's on who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you won't never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified rubber ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right, let's clap it up. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathon to the brother. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Allah Ta'ala Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. All right. ISUPK, Minnesota, with the Brotherhood class. As you know, this is a class for all Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. So I'm speaking about all 12 tribes. If you are, so-called Negroes, West Indians, Dominicans, Mexicans, so on and so forth. Let me see. Give me 1 second here. If you are the people that have been oppressed by the oppressor for quite some time, I'm speaking to you and you only. All right. Once again, Brotherhood class. We also speak about sisterhood once again. This doesn't exclude them whatsoever. If anybody has any questions or concerns, they can ask it in the chat right away as soon as possible, and we will address it. So give me 1 second. I just got to grab something. One moment. All right. Y'all bear with me here. All right. Also, too, while we waiting, just allow a few people to come in to the class, per usual. All right. So yeah, once again, this is the ISUPK Minnesota Brotherhood class. This is for all Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. If you do not know who that might be or the category, of course, just to keep it simple. If you are so-called African American, if you are Dominican, Cuban, if you are Venezuelan, if you are a Seminole Indian, Native or North American Indian, if you are, so-called Mexican, this class is for you. All right. And the reason being is because you are the children of Israel. And with that being said, this is not for everybody, only the people that I mentioned, or mainly the people that I mentioned. Okay. We have 12 tribes. I mentioned a few of them, just to name a few. But however, this is for you and you only. All right. We have a lot to talk about. The main thing that we have to talk about is always the issue that runs in our community. There's a lot of focus on, politics, war, and what else is going on. But there's never a focus on how to solve the problems that run rampant inside of those communities of Black, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. And the reason why I'm saying so-called is because that is not our name, and we are not Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, or Latino in and Indian. The Most High has a certain has a particular, people, and we have tribes. All right, we don't have proverbs. You know what I mean? We have tribes. So those names that you hear are bywords and proverbs, right? That is not our name, but of course, because of captivity, they named us themselves. But the Most High in the Bible, He gave us a identity, and it is within the nation of Israel and its 12 tribes. Just like there's other nations that have tribes themselves as well. When you ask somebody on the street who, what exactly are they, it seems like any other nation of people can identify themselves. For example, if you ask someone who is Korean, who is Chinese, Japanese, they can go back to their roots. If you ask someone who is African, which Africans and African Americans, so-called, are not the same people, right? Now you would think like, okay, that sounds crazy because, we are the same person and we come from the motherland. No. We may share complexion, but we are not kinfolk. All kinfolk, I think the saying is all skin folk and kinfolk, right? So although we might have been there at one point in time, we're not from there. We were there, but we are not from there. And even the other nations know that. But however, so-called African Americans who are Black Americans, right? The ones that get, unalived in the streets, the ones that, have all the stereotypes, always on child support, the main criminal, so on and so forth. But that's not it. However, there is something that's being used against you that you don't know about. And that's why we are here today to talk about that. Now, once again, if you have a question or comment, you can definitely, do that. You can share the live, like, dislike, comment, do as you please. No problem. So moving on with that, on the topic of brotherhood and sisterhood, we have to speak about what does it mean to be who you are called to be. What does that title of the class even mean? Why is that relevant? And I will explain why. And once again, this is also a class or a place that you are able to ask any and every question possible, whether it's related to the Bible or outside of the Bible. It doesn't matter. Because, however, a lot of people have questions that are not being answered at this point in time for a very long time. When's the last time you asked, Pastor so-and-so, and they were not able to give you an answer? When's the last time you asked them for a resource and they were not able to help you? That's the question you should always ask yourself. You've been paying tithes, you've been supporting and helping and been a part of this organization for so long that they are not helping or assisting you when you need it the most, the least. But in ISUPK, we have what so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians need. All right? So give me 1 second here. All right, let's grab Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Okay, so Romans chapter 12, verse 1. All right. And once again, if the information is off topic, you can go ahead and just type it in. If you got a question that's off topic as far as the subject, don't sweat it, just type it in, all right? So, This is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. So, of course, we know that the book of Romans is written by Paul, all right, the Apostle Paul. And he wrote a lot of letters to the brothers and sisters in many different places, which would be the seven heads, the seven schools, under Christ, because Christ gave Paul the authority to teach, all right, to be the one that takes care of these schools. And Paul was no joke. He was a brother that, he taught, he taught what Christ taught, and he followed and walked in the ways of what Christ had did and taught, which is very amazing, because a lot of people did not follow nor teach what Christ had did. Just like a lot of people today in 2025 don't do the same thing. Okay? So I read it one more time. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore. Like the word beseech means like, I beg of you, I ask of you, right? I beseech you thereof, brethren, by the mercies of God, our power, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. So I'm gonna stop right there just for a second, right? I'm gonna come back to this, right? The reason of the precepts and scriptures that I want to bring out is just we live in a time where everybody's talking about God. Everyone's talking about religion. Everyone's trying to find a way through life, in a sense, right? But however, not everybody is telling the truth. Not everybody is being honest in the sense of how to live life the proper way. Because also, too, something I'm going to get into is righteousness and wickedness. And with righteousness and wickedness, we are going to see what is the difference between you and the next person. That's what we are going to get into. And not everybody's going to understand that. But I'll do my best to break it down to you, because not everybody can understand the simplicity of things. Not everybody can. And I do understand. I completely understand. But, at least there's somebody here to, give it to you. All right? To break it down to you. So I'll read this one more time. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Now, what is Paul talking about? Paul is speaking about how we have to sacrifice something in order to serve the Most High. And if you don't understand that, we are going to see that in a second here. All right? Because one thing that we know is that the Most High is a merciful God. He's always merciful, always been that. And he's long-suffering. When you decide to do all the dirt that you want to do, the Most High, either he is going to judge you or he's going to show you some type of mercy. You could lose your life. You could end up in jail. You could lose an ailment, an arm or a leg, your head, something, I don't know. But it's all up to the Most High. The thing is, the Most High, he watches everything and everybody. And the fact that you came this far to be wicked and you still have not changed your ways, that just might be the end of you. And what can you say then? You can't say much at all. You can't say much at all because you done it to yourself. All right. Once again, I beseech you thereof, brethren, by the mercy of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. So you have to sacrifice something. If you want to be alive, you have to sacrifice all the things that are not of the Lord. That could be your weed addiction, weed addiction. You just want to sleep with any and everybody. You being part of the community, the ABC community, all right, who loves to change their genders left and right. I mean, you just simply want to be a liar. You want to be somebody who is just envious, has a lot of malice. You're going to have to sacrifice something in order to serve the Lord. And we are going to get into that a little bit further, by the way. I pray you understand, all right? Verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Let's stop there. Okay. Oh, so like, you know what? I actually, let me back up some. When it says that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, right? Meaning that you're going to have to sacrifice. You are going to have to give up something and everything. All right. That is not of the Lord. Okay. I mean, whatever you sacrifice, the Most High is going to, give you something that's 10 times better. He's going to reward you. All right. If you want to serve the Lord, I mean, it does come with a cost. It's not as simple as you think it is. Is it hard? Is it impossible? I mean, there is a struggle. That's why we say, that's why the Bible says to endure. The Bible does says to endure. You are going to have a battle with yourself as far as sacrificing anything that is not important to the Most High. To you, it's very much important. But to the Most High, He can show you something far better. And that's only if you truly believe in the Most High and what He has planned for you. But I'll definitely dive into that a little bit more in a second. The word says holy. The word holy means separate by definition. Holy is what you have to be, is separate from the things that are not a part of the Most High. The things that are keeping you in trouble, keeping you in prison, keeping you in terrible relationships, whether it be with your wife or wives, or you have bad relationships with anybody, in the outside world or in the world in general. You don't have social skills. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to, just go on about your day without a confrontation. That's what it's talking about. All right. And if y'all could just give me a second here. Give me one moment. Y'all bear with me one second here, all right? All right, so like it. Give me 1 second. I gotta take care of one thing. One moment.
Shalom, Israel. The ISUPK presents the Lord's 56th annual Passover going down right here in Atlanta, Georgia. We got a whole bunch of events lined up for y'all. Unleavened bread. 2 p.m. April the 13th is the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
All right, Shalom Christ. I had to take care of something real quick. I am back. But once again, if anybody got any questions or concerns, just go ahead and type it into the chat and we'll get to it. Otherwise, I do appreciate everybody that is in the chat, that's streaming this online and sharing it, like and all that good things of that sort. I appreciate y'all. So anyway, let's get back to it real quick if you could. Also, too, I do want to shout out everybody in the ISUPK that, of course, is just doing their thing as far as the work of the Lord. Just helping out so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, man. Because your so-called president, Donald Trump, is not helping or supporting anybody in that field. All right, and do you expect them to? If you do, hey, I would say Lord be with you, but I mean, I don't think you truly understand what's going on around here. But the oppressor has never been very kin to you. Okay. All right. So just to recap for a second here, right? With Romans chapter 12, verse 1 through 2, we're talking about how you have to sacrifice some things, or you have to sacrifice whatever that thing is in order to serve the Lord. All right. And I'm trying to say it without saying it yet, because I want to get to that precept down the line where I can show you what you should and should not do when it comes to serving of the Most High. Now, this class is for brothers and sisters who are truly trying to transition from learning the wrong things, such as religion, and trying to transition, not convert, but transition in a way where their life is a lot more better. It doesn't cause pain and suffering. Because last time I checked, before I came into this organization, my life was filled with pain and suffering. There was nothing glorious or holy than thou and all that other stuff. There was nothing, really good to speak about it. Okay. Like it was absolutely hell. Now, was every day a bad day? Absolutely not. Every day was not a bad day. But of course, as I grew up in understanding, I realized that my way of life was me on my way to death. And so I do thank the Lord that, I am in a position that I am today, because this has saved my life. And I'm helping brothers and sisters do the same thing. All right. So let's read it from the top one more time. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, our power, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. Now, as far as the body that you have, it is not yours. You know how the scripture says, your body is a temple of the Most High. Paraphrasing, it means that you can do whatever, whenever to your body. You have to do to your body according to what the Most High told you to do from the beginning. So what you say and what you intake and what you do and how you use your body, it has to line up with the guidelines and rules and protocols of what the Lord had set up for us from the beginning. I heard somebody say, like, well, that kind of sounds like a slave mentality. No, the thing is this, right? The Most High wants the best for you. He doesn't want the worst for you. As far as the oppressor, they are going to fill you up with drugs. They are going to deceive you to do any and everything in a way to where they can judge you and judge you in a way to where it's not humane whatsoever. But the Most High has mercy, your oppressor does not. And if you don't understand that by now, understand this. They say that so-called African Americans commit so many crimes more than the Europeans. That's not true. And even the stats came out from Europeans themselves, and they have proved that. The only reason why that narrative is out there is because of the powers, the people that are the oppressors that are in power that push that narrative. Understand, media is controlled by the Jewish. I mean, everything is controlled by the Jewish. Every downtown, every side street is controlled by the Jewish, who are the fake Jews. Is it not? You always got to ask yourself that question. Who controls this place? There are people that are not in plain sight that are putting things in the minds of people in their everyday lives. Where stereotypes come from is from the enemy, who is the Jewish, Amalek. Do your research, man. Just do it. And then also, too, they would tell you themselves. It's been exposed, not secretly, not privately, but publicly. So, just getting back to the topic, everything that you do in your life, and you say that you serve the Lord, you have to sacrifice those things that are not of the Lord. Otherwise, what are we talking about? That's what you have to do. You have to get rid of the things in order to change. And that's going to bring me to my next scripture in 1 second here. But let's see. Holy, which is separate. You have to be separate from that thing that is, causing you to sin. Acceptable unto God. Once again, you smoking, you being an alcoholic, you being a whoremonger. That's not acceptable to the Lord, because he has scriptures that tell you that it's unlawful, that it's wrong. Let's keep going. Which is your reasonable service. All right. So if you are going to give service to the Most High, if you are going to do as you say that you are going to do, it takes action. It doesn't take just you saying it. That's why Christians are a problem in the so-called Black, Hispanic, or Latino and Native Indian community, because we have people in our community who say one thing, but they show another. And they don't give back. They take away. And that's the problem. Let's keep going. Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, and to be not conformed to this world just simply means, okay, I'm trying to say it, I'm going to say it how Christ said it, right? Love not the world. Be in the world, but do not love the world. Meaning that you can live in that environment that is evil. You can live in a place where that family does wickedness. You can live in a place where, LGBT, ABC community is present. But that's not your life. You separated yourself from that. You decide to deny all the evil, all the weed, all the drugs, all the homosexuality. You decide to ignore, just wickedness as a whole. And that's possible. But now, however, all Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we are in hell. We are in captivity. But now, with that being said, are you going to be a byproduct of where you live, where you're from, who the stereotypes of who your people are? Is that going to be your life? You got to ask yourself that question every single day. Are you going to do what everybody else does, or are you going to do something different? Are you going to check yourself, chastise yourself? Are you going to tell yourself, you know what, I used to do this thing that is not correct, but however, you know what, I'm just going to go a different route. I'm not going to hang around that group of people, because last time I did, I was in jail. I was in prison. I lost a family member. I lost a child. That's the question that you got to ask yourself. Are you going to be the norm, or are you going to be someone who is completely separate from that? Are you going to be the stereotype? Are you going to be the person that does what everybody else does in this world? And we are getting closer to that scripture that I really want to get into, because when it comes to living a life of serving the Most High, it's not what you think it is. Now, once again, is it bad? Is it good? I mean, it's absolutely amazing. But whatever you work for, there's always something behind it. If you work hard and play hard, I mean, there's always going to be some pain behind it. And one thing I can tell you is you are better off serving the Lord than serving anybody else. And if you think that you can smoke weed and that you can just, sleep around with whom and ever, and that you can serve God, you are serving the wrong God. Because according to the Bible, we have rules. I'm sorry, he has rules. He has instructions. He has morality for his children. And I would like to follow up with a good question. When's the last time there has never been displayed rules ever in life? When you go to a establishment, there are things that you can and cannot do. For example, if you walk into a store, in order to purchase something, you got to have money, you got to have clothes on, because some stores says if you don't have a shirt, shoes, pants, and money, you cannot come into the store nor purchase anything. Because how does that store thrive? Thrive off of just your appearance? Absolutely not. That's not how that works. Okay? All right, so, and be not conformed to this world. And also, too, I do want to grab that word as well. Let me see. Here we go. All right. One moment. One moment, y'all. All right. Hold on one second, y'all. Good night. Salakia. Let me just double check something here. All right. All right. So the word is conform, which is the root word of conformed, right? To give the same shape, outline, or to contour to. Oh, no, Salaki, that's not it. Oh, yeah, here we go. Conform, to be obedient or compliant, usually used with to, like conform to another's wishes, to act in accordance with prevailing standards or customs. So, for example, to conform to this world means to celebrate holidays, right? I like to call it holidays, because the holidays of men today is what? St. Patrick's Day. It's coming up in 6 days? All right. After that, April Fools, which some people recognize, others don't. May, Mother's Day. June, Father's Day. July, Independence Day. I don't think there's much in August, but the list goes on. You understand what I'm saying? To conform to this world in 2025 is to do what everybody else is doing. Now, with that being said, what is something that everybody else is not doing? We are keeping the high holy days, which are in the Bible, Leviticus the 23rd chapter. That is what is being kept. That's what's being kept. And March 13th through the 14th, which is on this week of this Thursday and Friday, we are keeping the Feast of Purim. And I pray you understand. And we are inviting all so-called Black, Hispanics, and native Indians that are the children of Israel. Okay? That's who is all invited. You know, your wives, your husbands, your children, your mothers, your fathers, your nieces, your nephews, so on and so forth. That's what's happening this week. And you know what? It's not a holiday that's on Esau's calendar. It's not on the American calendar at all. The Feast of Purim. And they try to bastardize it, and they have tomato fights. When you read the story of the Feast of Purim, tomatoes has nothing to do with the celebration of it, which lets you know you are conformed to this world. Christ said, I'm going to paraphrase. Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to paraphrase. Hold on 1 second. Let me paraphrase it because I just said it earlier. Or let me actually get the precepts. Like it. Let me see. Okay, I'm paraphrasing. Be of this world, but be not in the world, right? Or be not in the world, but of this world. I'm trying to find it. But anyway, yes. So anyway, I'm paraphrasing. But what Christ was saying is like, you can be in this world, meaning that you can live in the world of America, Rome. I mean, Russia, China. Wherever you know these places are that have power, that have influence, that have authority over the people, you can live there, but you don't have to follow or be conformed to what they are doing. Now, can it cost you your life? It might be, can, yes. Because has it happened before? Absolutely. When you get into the Feast of Dedication, what you find out is that because 7 brothers and their mother did not want to eat swine's flesh, which is that bacon, that ham, that pork, they were unalived by the king. He tried to force them to eat it, and they said, no, this goes against our God, our power, Yahweh, and we would not do it. So they rather be unalived. And that shows so much strength that a lot of people do not seem to have today. It took a lot of strength. And those brothers and that one sister showed each other love beyond understanding, true brotherhood and sisterhood. They said that they'll rather lose their life than to eat some swine flesh. But now, in America, outside of America, and other places, you willingly eat it. You willingly serve Christmas, Thanksgiving, all the things that have nothing to do with God, but everything to do with how you feel and what you want to do, and based on your captivity of your oppressor. Wow. Amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. I digress. Let's get it. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. To be transformed by the renewing of your mind is, okay, I can't smoke weed anymore because it's a sin. I can't just stick my rod into every woman. You sisters out there, can't just throw your cat to everybody. Can't be an alley cat. If you are going to give up your private parts, your body to a man, you have to stick with that man forever. Now, if you have issues and concerns within that relationship, or better yet, marriage, because sex is marriage, if you did not know, you're going to have to get counsel about that. You can't just say, you know what, we're not on good terms. I'm out of here. It doesn't work like that. You want to know why? It's too easy. And in your mind, sex is not marriage. Sex is just pleasure. And sex is not pleasure whatsoever. It's more than that. It's very much more than that. Sex is a commitment. And a commitment is a contract that should never be broken. I pray you understand. And if you don't, continue to watch this class. Continue to watch future classes. You cannot break that contract because of how you feel or what you think. And there are rules of how we handle every solitary situation. When it comes to domestic violence, we have a solution for that. Does it mean that you got to run and leave? No. But we do have a solution for it. This man burned me. This man, he threw me away. Now, we don't believe in divorce, but if that man leaves you or that woman leaves you, hey, we have rules and protocols for that. It all depends on the situation and the matter. All right. But of course, in order to know and get and receive that information and that help, you have to start off fresh. You brothers, you have to come in here in all black. You have to listen and not teach. Because you think you know something, but you really don't. You know what somebody taught you wrongfully, and you probably don't even know it. The same for you sisters. You sit in here, you keep your mouth shut, you are in here modestly, and you listen and you learn. And that's how it goes. Now, do we force anybody to, come into the ISUPK? Absolutely not. Do we force anybody to understand what we understand? No. But we do have a job to do, which is to teach, because last time I checked, everybody teaches, whether they are religious, non-religion, religious, so on and so forth. There is somebody who is giving their opinion, giving some type of information to those that are out there. You have people who do podcasts. And some of the podcasts, honestly, just don't make any sense. But some people find it very intriguing. You have religious leaders. You have politicians, presidents, senators, councilmen, et cetera, people on television who make statements and opinions. And they have a form of a voice. Now, when it comes to the Lord, the ISUPK is the only voice that you're going to hear correctly. And I pray you understand. All right, so let's keep going. But ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good. So lucky, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect and will of God. So once again, when you renew your mind, the renewing of your mind just means that you are changing your mindset. All right. And your mind is the same thing as your spirit, because there are scriptures that talks about that, how your spirit and your mind is one. All right. So when you change your mind, which is you changing your ways, then the things that the Lord is going to see is going to be good, acceptable, and perfect in the will of God. So, for example, when you get that Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit just means that you do great deeds. All right. It's not a great deed as of, the great deeds of the Holy Spirit, or you having the Holy Spirit, is it falling in line with what the Most High had already told us in the scriptures. Like, for example, right? When the Bible says to go to him and him alone, right? So instead of you unaliving this person, you harming this person in any way possible, going to him and him alone, and you guys work that out, or you sisters work that out, that's the Holy Spirit. Because a demon is going to, allow you to crash out. I'm sorry, that demon is not going to see, is not going to allow you to go to that brother or that sister to work out whatever is going on, right? As far as the offense, the issue. But a demon definitely will say, like, it's definitely, you're definitely going to have thoughts in your head. You're definitely going to feel some type of way. You're not going to follow what the Bible says, which is to go to that person alone and them alone only. Now, that's on you, unless you get the proper protocol and instructions and help. All right. So, as far as that part, let me see. And also, too, like, when you're thinking about it, I know brothers and sisters who came into the truth, who had no idea that some of the things that they used to do in their past life was actually a problem. They thought that it was perfectly normal because everybody else was doing it. So, for example, I said this before in a previous class. There's a brother who told me that he really didn't think nothing of it to sleep with somebody else's woman because, he was getting all the attention and, he was used to women coming to him. And the fact that, dude wasn't doing his job, so he seen no problem with it. But the fact of the matter is this. When you are in the world and you don't have no morality, you have no wisdom, we don't think about the consequences. We think about the feeling, the emotion, the demon that's on us to be like, you know what, I want to do this thing, and that's that. But we don't think about what's going to happen in the aftermath, which is absolutely insane. But now, however, I don't blame Black and Hispanic and Native Indians at all. And here's why. Because our oppressor has instilled in us that, there is no consequence. There is no, how do you say it? There's no strings attached to this thing that you are doing. But however, brothers and sisters get confused once you get locked up, once you get unalived. You say, why is this police officer pulling me over? Why is he doing this to me? Why am I being arrested? Meanwhile, in your mind, they're selling the same drugs as you. They're unaliving people just like you. They're doing all the same crimes just like you, but you are the one being punished. It's because there are devices. You are the Most High's people, and they are not. And so it's going to fall on you. But however, they are still going to get punished for sure. But at the same time, though, it doesn't mean that you are, going to get left off the hook. You are not going to receive that mercy that they are receiving. And we have to remember who we are dealing with. And when we get locked up, when we go through police brutality, when we lose our lives, and when we are stripped of our morality, our integrity, we never consider who they are and who we are as a people. All right? And you got to understand who you're dealing with. Every time you speak or have a acquaintance, or every time you are, business, just anybody that you even talk to, you have to understand who you are dealing with. Not everybody is going to be the enemy. Not everybody is going to be the friend. Some may be, some may be not. But you have to understand who you are dealing with. Okay? And what's amazing is when you renew, when you do the renewing of your mind, what you're going to see is how your old ways that was going to lead you in a path of death. And these new ways is going to help you to survive and to live a better life for not just yourself, but maybe for your family if you have one. Or better yet, if you don't have a family, in a sense, you have a nation that you have to take care of, that you have to watch over, that you have to spread the message to. Because one thing about everybody, I just said, everybody talks. What do I mean by everybody talks? Everybody has an opinion, has something to say. And it can be bad information or good information. But which side do you want to be on? Do you want to speak to where it influences the lives of brothers and sisters for the betterment of them and your nation? Or do you want to, play on the other side where the Most High is not with you and you are destroying lives based on what you say and what you do? You always got to ask yourself those questions every single day. So just be mindful, right? There are many ways that we can change our lives. And once again, I'm saying this to the brothers and sisters who are watching and who say, you know what? I might want to come into the ISPK, come into the home of the truth, but I just don't know yet. I'm doing this in my life. I got this going on. I'm watching these cats over here, those cats over there. I just don't know. What doesn't hurt is to ask questions and figure it out on your own. But once again, if you seek out the Most High is going to show you what you truly want, show you that thing that you need to see. And he's going to tell you that thing that you need to hear. Now, am I talking about physically? No. If you truly seek out the Most High and you are working on yourself, you will see exactly what needs to be seen and heard. I'll leave it at that, all right? Okay? The Most High deals with Israel the way he chose to. But however, I'm just a messenger. I don't know the Most High's thoughts. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he's saying. In the sense of, our voice. You know what I mean? But however, he gave us enough information in these scriptures. It is our job to, hearken unto his voice when it comes to these scriptures. And then, of course, we are going to have it broken down to us one way or another, whether you believe the scriptures or whether you do. The Most High has always shown himself to us, but it's up to you if you hear him or not. All right. Let's keep going. Actually, that's it on that part. Let's get James chapter 1, verse 8. Okay. Once again, if anybody got any questions or concerns, type it into the chat. All right. Otherwise, let me see here. So if anybody got any questions or concerns, type it into the chat. Otherwise, we will just continue. All right. And don't forget that Passover is coming up April 12th. But of course, we got events from the 9th all the way to the 13th. Okay. So just be ready for that. Now, if you're not in the ISPK, the manager in Yohana, who is the leader of Israel, he wants all camps, individualites. If you're not a part of a camp, if you are with a camp, all of Israel, all so-called Black people, Negroes, Latinos, Latinas, Native Indians, to come to the Passover. I don't know any other organization who has ever recommended for all people of the nation of Israel to come together. We ain't saying that you have, and also too, leave everybody else at the door. If you are not a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, now Africans is not a part of the Blacks, and also too, I'll say this, right? Everybody on the face of the earth has a complected or melanated skin tone to a certain extent, right? Except for one people. And that's the people who oppress us, the people that run this place called, I like to call them Caucasians or Europeans, right? Those are the people that are not invited. Arabs, Africans, East Indians, the one with the dots, Asians or Chinese, Japanese. Let me see if I miss anybody. Yeah. So those are the people that are not a part of the nation of Israel. There are 12 tribes. Okay. And so, if you are a so-called black man, African American, if you are Jamaican or Haitian, if you are a Seminole Indian, a Native Indian, if you are Cuban or Dominican, if you are so-called Mexican, if you are so-called Reuben, or I pretty much already said that. If you are from Guatemala or Venezuelan at all, those are the people that are invited to the Passover. Anybody else, they will have to turn back around. They will not be allowed into our establishment. And that is, all I have to say about that, respectfully. All right. So, chapter 1, verse 8. Hold on. James chapter 1, verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay. So a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Now, this is the scripture that I was trying to get to in the first place. And here's why. Because with everything that I read, one thing that you cannot do when you come into the UPK, you cannot be double-minded. You have to be someone who's born again, someone who's brand new. You can't live two lives or multiple lives. And the reason being is because you are going to hate the one and love the other. All right, and trust me, I've seen it before. I've seen it. I've been, I've been here for some short change in the UPK, and even before the UPK, I've seen people in life that I came across or that I actually knew as well who, they would say like, hey, I'm doing this in my life right now, but they're still trying to combine it with another life. Like person, you can't combine business with pleasure. And that's what you will see. All right. Business and pleasure you can't do. So your personal life is what you say, is where you start off. But once you get this business, you can't combine the two. Okay? You can't live a double life. You know what I mean? So you can't, that's something that is not going to work out. And if you think about it from a psychological standpoint, what you are going to find out is that that person is not letting go of one thing. And it's causing issues into this thing that they're trying to do. And I'm saying that all to say, like, I'm saying all that to say, like, you have to be one way and one way only. Now, people do change. At least you are supposed to change for the better, I would hope, and not for the worse. All right? And you can't combine drug dealing with trying to serve God. It doesn't make sense at all. Because what God wants is for his people to, thrive. If you're selling drugs to God's people, they are not thriving at all. How are they not thriving? Because they're being unalive every single time. So how can you thrive when you are in the grave? The only one that's getting the benefit is the one that's selling the drugs. With all those drugs that you sold to everybody, they are not thriving at all because they are now unalive. They are in the grave. So you cannot be a double-minded person. You can't live two different lives. It's not going to work out for you. But if you choose to live that life, just understand what comes with it. It's not going to work out. Now, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but soon enough, the Lord is going to show and expose who you are. So you got to be very careful. If I were you, if you are going to come into the ISUPK and you are going to truly want to serve the Lord, you have to do what Paul said. It's called make sacrifices. That's what you do. Make sacrifices. If you can't give up selling drugs or doing drugs and, whatever you're doing out there that is not of the Lord, hey, that's on you. And you have to deal with that. Nobody else. You would have to answer for that and no one else. All right, so let me see. I'm pretty much done on that part. Give me one moment here. Let me see. Let's get give me one moment, y'all. Okay, I see. All right. All right. So, like, if y'all could just give me 1 second here. I gotta take care of one thing. Y'all bear with me 1 second here, all right? I'll be back shortly.
Yeah. Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room and pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tinted truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word, he ain't this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options. Used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings all feel them. Kick the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. At the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse the imposter. Shit get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Send that hate, make it to the featherweight. Niggas say they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a stepper and a ruler. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripe, no brick baby. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gun shy. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Nigga swear he the go, bring him to the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. At the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, you get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Never ski mask, transform to war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on.
All right, Salakia. I had to take care of something real quick, but just to reiterate this real quick, right? So, all right, so let's go to Mark chapter 2, verse 21. Okay, I do want to recognize this real quick. As far as just piggybacking off of a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. All right, that lifestyle that you are living. Once again, the lifestyle of you are doing the things that the Lord does not approve of. Like how we read in Romans, the thing that is not holy, which is separate, it's not acceptable, and it was something else. Good. All right. So you are I'll give y'all a great example, right? I had this job, or I like to call it a slavery. This was about maybe like 2, 3 years ago, and and the thing was this: I had met this brother who literally just left prison. He no, I'm sorry, no, he just got out of federal prison, right? And this is about 2, 3 years ago. I was working at this warehouse job, and the brother, he's cool and everything and stuff like that. Eventually, we got acquainted. So like, I got to talk to him in the break room. We talking, we chilling, and things of that sort, right? Just having a conversation. And he had asked me a question because I used to wear my UPK shirts all the time at the slavery, and he was like, so are you like an Israelite? Are you this? Are you that? And I'm like, I'm an Israelite. He's like, oh shit, me too. I'm like, come, no sweat, shalom, brother. I'm like, are you with a organization, a school, or what? He's like, no, I'm not with nobody. I just study myself. I'm like, okay, well, hey, I'm with the ISUPK, this and the third. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. He was like, I think I heard about them. And then I had mentioned one of the most famous, captains in the school, Captain Tazariot. And he was like, yeah, and then he knew who Commander Junior was, and so yeah, so we was talking about it, and eventually, as time went on, as we talked more and more, because we was doing a lot of warehouse jobs, so we was kind of missing each other. As time went on, he was telling me how he was studying in the federal prison, and how he had came out, just not sure exactly what he wanted to be a part of as far as so-called religion, a faith, things of that sort. But it was one thing that puzzled me a little bit, that I just kind of shook my head about, because a lot of things that we talked about, me and him agreed about, right? I know the brother's not in the truth, but it was just one thing that I'm just like, you need to come to class. And I told him that from the start. But there was a lot of excuses, but it was just one thing that he said. And it's one thing that the brother said. He was like, yeah, okay, so me and him was talking about making extra money. So the warehouse job, at first, it wasn't making enough, but then later, everybody started to get a raise and stuff like that. But at first, he was talking about, we need a new hustle. And he was saying, like between the warehouse job and and him hustling on the street as far as selling product, is not working out for him. And I'm like, brother, I'm like, I thought you said that you was for brothers and sisters, and you wasn't for the destruction of them. And when I said that, and we talked about it, and we broke it down, the brother was like, looking at me as if I was saying something foreign to him. And plus, this is someone that actually was smoking his own product as well. And I'm just like, brother, like, you can't live two double lives. I'm sorry, a double life. Okay. And also, too, what is that precept? Before I get into this, what is that one about serving? Serving mammon. Let me see. Right. Okay. Here we go. Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. Right. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. And mammon is just someone that is just false, someone that's just irrelevant, or something that just doesn't matter whatsoever, right? It's like you say that you love God, Yahweh, but you got a Christian cross, which that does not represent God whatsoever. That represents the death of Christ, which is absolutely disrespectful and diabolical. Okay? That's not your faith. That has nothing to do with nothing but the death of Christ. Because if I were to ask you this, if somebody were to, unalive somebody that you loved with a knife or a gun, would you wear that around your neck? I don't think so. Absolutely not. I don't think so. I doubt it. Unless you have a mental issue. Unless you have mental illness, you would. But you know what also is mental illness? Wearing that cross around your neck. That's the problem. Okay? That's why Christianity is the house of Satan. All right? So I'll drop that real quick. So yeah, if you say that you love God and that you're trying to learn and study and know who the Most High is, but you still over here doing but you're still over here, selling drugs to your people, and you're still sleeping around with your brother's wife, and you're still doing X, Y, and Z, that does not line up to the blueprint of what the Most High gave the Israelites, then you must hate the one and love the other. Which one is it? Because what it sounds like is that you hate the Most High and you love the other, which is whatever disgusting thing that you are doing. That's what it sounds like. But correct me if I'm wrong. If I am wrong, then show me. Please, let me know. And I will definitely, more than anything, apologize, because pride is not something that I have. But however, brotherhood is something that I do offer. And if I'm wrong in any way, brother, I got you. I will show you the brotherhood that I've learned in the school. All right? But however, if you do love God, show it. All right? What's more important, them drugs or God? Well, I got to provide for my family. I got to do this, I got to do that. Well, the Most High will help you with providing. But you unaliving your people, and then the Most High is telling you that you got to raise up your people. It doesn't make sense. Once again, double-mindedness. All right? It doesn't work that way. How can you serve the Most High and Satan at the same time and think that it's going to work out? It doesn't make sense. Please do not be in a state of insanity, although in 2025, our people are heavily in the state of insanity. And that's why in the UPK, we're trying to help. We're not trying. We are doing the work to get that confusion out of your head. Because the Most High did say he's not the author of confusion, which there is a lot of confusion out here. And some people, when I say some people, a lot of people need medication. I pray you understand. And if you don't understand right now, you will later. Some of you know exactly who you are. You just need some help. And there's nothing wrong with help. You just need medication. That's all. And this Bible and and those pills, as far as, the ones that is prescribed from the doctor, not the ones prescribed off the street, they can't help. More than anything, this Bible is your prescription. But no one can force it down your throat. You will have to be willing to take it and then accept it and see how things change for you. All throughout your life, you have been filled with hatred, hurt, betrayal. And that's all you know. And you run towards it throughout your life, but you never run from it to get the help that you need to be protected from it. And that's the problem. But however, we have the dose. We have that thing that's going to get you well and not hurt you. I pray you understand. I don't know. But anyway, let's get to it. Let's get, let me see. I got a few more precepts, but I'm going to leave that to another class. But anyway, let's get this real quick. All right, Mark chapter 2, verse 21. No man also seweth a piece of new cloth on an old garment. Yeah. So if you have an old garment and it's ripping, it's missing part of the fabric, right? It's missing something. It has a hole in it. You wouldn't put new parts to it. You wouldn't sew in a new part to it at all because it's not going to look right. And it doesn't make sense to do that. Why is that? Because, I mean, to some people, yeah, okay. You have some jeans, you have a dress, you have a shirt, and there's a hole in it. And instead of getting the same material, you get a different material to fill in that spot that is missing. All right. You think like, okay, cool. All right, I could just use this material and put it into that spot that is missing, that hole or whatever, that rip, that tear. That's not how that works. And this is a analogy and metaphor to show you that when you are old, you can't add nothing new to you. And I'll break it down in 1 second, right? This is what I mean. So let's read it one more time. No man also seweth a piece of new cloth on an old garment, else the new piece that filled it up taketh away from the old, and the rent is made worse. So if you had an old garment and there's a hole in there, you wouldn't put polyester to cotton. If it's an old garment, meaning clothing, and it's cotton, and you have polyester, you wouldn't add that to it. And it's not gonna match. It's just gonna be sewed in, filled in, but it's not gonna go together. When it comes to being brand new, you have to be 100% brand new. Not partially, not 90%, not 80%, not 50%. You have to be 100% brand new, all together, not part of you. Because also too, right, the Bible does say, it speaks about one body. If one part of that body is not aligned with the other, then something is going to be wrong. So if you are not 100% a part of this body, a part of this cloth, a part of this material, there's something wrong. There's an issue. The issue is there's a spot. The Bible says to be blameless. There's a spot. All right? There's some type of discoloration. There's I'm just using that as an example, right? But there's something that should not be there. You have this cloth, you have this clothing, and it's all made up of different new material of cloth. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Something's wrong. And what's wrong is you're trying to hold on to that thing that is no more. So if you have an old garment, let it be whole. And it has a rip or a tear, don't add nothing new to it. All right? And that is you in the world. People in the world, they are ripped to pieces, meaning that they have been through so much trauma, so much hurt, so much pain, that they try to mask it and then try to live a different life, but they have not dealt with the old stains, the old rips and tears, the trauma, the pain and suffering. When you come into the ISUPK, you can't come in here, okay, you can come in here as, someone who is in sin, but if you want to continue to stay in here, we are going to cast that sin off of you. You will have to give up that sin that you are dealing with right now as you sit in these seats, as you walk in, as you call in, that drug addiction that you once had, you cannot sit next to a brother and do that. You can't say that you are saving lives and do that. You love, as a woman, you love to sleep around with multiple men because, he just don't understand me and, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 right? That can't happen here. Absolutely not. That's not something that we encourage. We don't encourage sin. We want you to destroy. We want to unalive it. We don't want to add on to it. We want that to be gone in the grave. And that's what it means to be born again. But I may have to do a part 2 on this, all right? I'm going to have to do a part 2 on this part. But you have to be born again. All right? You can't just be born and add on to it. Add on to, you got old baggage, but you're trying to collect some new baggage on top of it. No, that's not acceptable. And what's going to happen is it's going to cause problems and issues in your life and those around you. It always does. There's no way around living a double life. There's no way around of you not serving the Most High God. And if you take that oath, you wrote your name in blood, meaning that you got that oil poured on your head, and you gave and you told the Most High that you are willing to do the work of the Lord, to raise up this nation until your very death. But however, you can't play around with it. Once again, the Most High is very merciful, but mercy and patience does run out. And Christ can come back any day, anytime. And when that day comes, will you be ready? Will he accept you or deny you? That's up for you to decide and to think about. And with that being said, I guess, Lord be with you. All right? All right. With that being said, I imagine, which means to stand. All right. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Group for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10 means 10th in the Hebrew. Like Asherah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. A priest fund, which is a free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocation. So, this Thursday and Friday, we have the Feast of Purim, all right, which is going to be at sundown, okay, for both days. Lord allow, everything goes to God. And of course, you already know we are going to have some good food, good company, and good drinks, all right? So, if anybody has any questions or concerns about that, contact our phone number, which is 612-524-9544. The number again is 612-524-9544. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. All right. With that being said, for time's sake, we are going to say the Lord's Prayer. So, Wapani Hakodan, or I imagine, which means to stand, everyone. Wapani Hakodan, face the east. All right. right? Let's get it. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawi, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malach Waka, Taba'ah, Rakazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barakazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanael, Lakam, Kol, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawaknawa, Wala'ah, Taba'ah, Messiah one, Ahol, Kawashinawa, Mayan, Bride, Kayah, Lakab, Amalakwa, Wa'alam, Wakaparak, La'awalami, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Amen. All right. So with that being said, Sar, which means to turn in the Hebrew. In Israel, my Shabbat, and Majah, Barak, Yahweh Shemiah Shabbat Katon. Courtesy salute for the sisters. Sar, in Israel, my Shabbat, and Majah, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Alakah Shemiah Shah. That's my time. Class dismissed.